Alright, so deck party preparation, how to have a good time without being a bitch, and how backstreet time will have an impact on your cruise experience. Now the first topic, deck party prep. This is going to be one that's probably going to be featured in just about every one of these blog posts, and there's so many kind of subtopics within this topic to cover that I can't cover it all in one day. But I did want to go ahead and throw this one in here because the first deck party theme was announced last week. Now in the past there have been some really cool cruise themes. There's been 70s night, which was awesome. I went and I had curly hair at the time, so I fluffed it up and I had on the solid gold dress and these gold shoes, and I was like 70s diva. And I got to dance with Kevin, not with him, he was standing up on a bar, but I was right there in the front, and I was feeling myself and he was anyway, we had a moment, and it's not just in my mind, I'm not just having a crazy fan moment, we had a moment. And no, I don't want him. Let me say that for anybody who's watching this video who doesn't know me and doesn't know that I adore his wife. She is so beautiful inside and out, and she makes him happy. That is the most important thing. So it's not like that. It's just he and the rest of the guys are my happy place, and you kind of would probably have to be a fan to fully understand. So if you're not a fan and you don't get it, maybe now's the time to check out. But maybe if you're going on a cruise for something or someone that you love, like a celebrity or something, maybe you can get some tips from this video. So maybe don't check out. I suck at marketing. So the theme for the first theme that was announced, there's going to be 4 theme nights, was Fast Times at Backstreet High. So it's going to be a high school themed cruise. It's going to be a high school themed deck party. And basically when they put out the announcement, they were like, were you a jock? Were you a cheerleader? Were you a goth kid? What was your thing in high school? And I was president of my Latin club in high school. Not oh, Latin, Latin America. No, et tu, Brute? Latin. I was a nerd. I did marching band for my first 2 years of high school. Okay, and I've thought about doing a sexy marching band outfit, but everything that I've found so far has been too sexy or just too marching bandish. But then if it's too, it's not. I'm not trying to break the internet or anything. Not that I could, but you know. So I don't know. I'm exploring some different options. I'm even thinking about doing a group costume with some of my friends. So this blog post, this vlog, I have to get used to saying vlog and not blog. This post is really just to kind of, for those of you who've never cruised before, or you cruised before and you didn't feel like you were as well prepared, to kind of start thinking about the kind of experience that you want to have and what your goals are for the cruise. And something that you might want to think about with regard to that is, what are you going to wear for the deck parties, and how much of a commitment to your costume do you want it to be? Do you even want it to be a costume? Do you want to just hey, this is what I'm going to wear, or this is going to be my outfit, I just want to look cute? Or are you like me and you have to be extra AF? Because I'd be extra. But that's just me. So what kind of planning goes into that? If you're going to be extra, what do you need to pack? How much do you need to pack? Once I get closer to knowing what I actually want to do, I'll get more into packing and stuff. But I just kind of want you guys to know this is something that you should be thinking about now. It's how elaborate do you want to be? I like to try to wear something that I feel will get me some attention from the guys, that will help me stand out a little bit more, because I have a goal when I go, and that is to get as many selfies with Kevin as possible. I got so lucky on the last cruise. I got a picture with him at every single event, including the sail away party, which I was oh, we're off to a great start. And I was spoiled last year. Which leads me into the next topic. We'll touch on deck party prep in more detail, kind of breaking down the things that you're going to want to consider in another vlog. My next point is how to have a good time without being a bitch. First of all, what do I even mean by that? There's a lot of people on this boat. Most of the people on this boat are female. just about every person on this boat is a Backstreet Boys fan, and the Backstreet Boys are also on this boat. So you would think like it would just automatically be a good experience, right? Like, what could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? If you've ever been to a Backstreet Boys concert, you know. I've literally gone to concerts alone, and I'm pretty introverted, and I was, especially in my younger years. I was even more so. But I know that I could go to a Backstreet Boys concert, find a fan that was in my vicinity sitting next to me that I didn't know, and I would have a good time with the people around me, because Backstreet fans are just good people until you put them on a boat, because something happens on a boat. I don't know if it's the motion of the ocean, or if like something is in the water that they give us, or the food that we eat. I don't know, but people forget their manners all together. And it doesn't matter where you're from. There's a ton of people out there that will always say the Brazilian fans are crazy. They are, but so are the US fans, and so are the Asian fans and the European fans. We're all crazy, but we can still be courteous. I'm 5'10", and I'm not a small girl. I'm full figured. I don't understand how I can be plus size and invisible at the same time. Like, bitch, you see me standing here. Don't push me out of the way. Have you seen me? Ain't no pushing. You're not pushing me out of the way. I'm not moving. And now I'm just pissed off. And I'm at the front because I was smart and I positioned myself at the front. I would have moved for you after I got my picture or my high five or my hello from my favorite Backstreet Boy, whoever happened to be walking by, even if it was one of the security guards that we all know and love. But now you've pushed me. And guess what? You're going to be looking at my back for the rest of the time that we're standing in this section. Because I treat kindness with kindness. If I have people behind me that were courteous and that were nice and like, oh, the boys are there signing autographs or taking pictures, and I had my picture and now it's your turn, I will either move or I will bend down so that you can actually have your interaction above me. But the moment you get rude, that is not happening. I actually had an experience on, I want to say it was the 2013 cruise, where I was standing on the edge of one of the hot tubs. Not my smartest move, I will admit, and it was an empty hot tub. So if I'd fallen in, it would have been a long way to fall. This girl comes up behind me and literally grabs onto me to haul herself up to where I'm standing. Nick saw that shit happen from the stage where they were at for the deck party, and he saw my face, and he laughed so hard because I know that if looks could have, I have resting bitch face as it is. If you want to really see me angry, if you ever see my actually angry face, my actual bitch face, the not resting one, she saw it that night. If looks could have killed, she'd have been dead. Okay? Don't do it. Don't push your way through a crowd that's going in opposite direction so you can get a picture, most likely with Nick, because every time he's taking pictures, it's crazy. Hold on 1 second. Bellatrix. Bellatrix? Chill. Stop it. Sorry. Cat problems again. It's always going to be crazy trying to get pictures with Nick. That's why I don't even bother trying to get pictures with Nick. Now, that being said, I'm not a Nick girl. I don't hate Nick. I don't dislike Nick. I don't have any issues with Nick. I just prefer Kevin. And Kevin is so patient. He will make sure that, like, if there's a group of people that are standing around waiting for a picture for him, with him, he will stay and make sure that picture gets taken. Nick's just kind of like, it's chaos. Whoever gets a picture is so lucky. That's my Nick Carter voice. And you're all welcome. But anyway, you're gonna get a picture with him. Chill, dude. That's why it's always a mob. That's why his security gets agitated the fastest, and usually will reach a point where there's like, you know what? Screw it. Nobody gets a picture with Nick. We're done taking pictures. If you act like that, you lose out. If you act like a civilized adult who paid good money to be on this cruise, you will be rewarded thusly. Okay? So, last thing. How will Backstreet Time impact your experience on the cruise? First off, what is Backstreet Time? Backstreet Time is the time warp that you enter when you are on a Backstreet Boys cruise or at a Backstreet Boys after party or any kind of Backstreet related event. I haven't been to one of the shows in Vegas, so I don't know if the Vegas shows actually are on Backstreet Time. I'm not sure. Maybe you guys can let me know. I'm really going to try to get to one this year. But in this warp, this time warp known as Backstreet Time, nothing starts on time. And I don't mean like 10 or 15 minutes or 30 minutes or even an hour. I mean, they're always 2 to 3 hours late. Which means that if you're not in a concert group that night and there's a deck party, which there will be, you're waiting in the deck part. You're waiting on deck. If you're smart, you'll probably pick a good place to hang out and wait. Make sure that place is a comfortable place because you're going to be standing there not only once the deck party starts and things are really getting underway, you're going to be standing there for the hours before the boys actually get there. And you're going to be looking at your clock or at your phone. And you're going to be thinking, well, whoa, this party should have started by now. This party should have started an hour ago. This party should have started 2 hours ago. This party should have started 3 hours ago. Oh, look, the party is starting. Finally, 3.5 hours later. Backstreet Time does not care what deck party it is. It will happen at every deck party, including the last deck party, which sucks. Because if that party starts late, it means that party ends late. The next morning at about 8 o'clock, Carnival is going to start kicking people off the boat. And you have to be ready to go, get your stuff, make sure that you've got everything that you need. And then most of us are probably going to be traveling the day that the cruise ends. So that means that on pretty much no sleep, because the Backstreet Boys deck party started on Backstreet Time, you're going to have to be a functioning adult on like no sleep. That being said, what has Howie always said about Backstreet Boys cruises from day one? Ain't no sleep on a Backstreet cruise. You don't sleep. You sleep before the cruise. Now, that being said, I always find time to nap because I love a good nap, and the rocking of the boat actually is really soothing to me. So I do find time to nap in between, and I'm hoping last cruise they did a really good job of not jam-packing too many activities in during the day. I hope that they do that again so that you can actually kind of enjoy your time on the ship, but be prepared for Backstreet Time and what that's going to mean. If you're not willing to stay camped out right up next to the stage all night to be there for the deck party where you think they're going to be coming in, which may not even be where they're actually coming in, then don't do that. If you prefer to be comfortable, go someplace where you can be comfortable, maybe to like the upper deck where you can sit and kind of let your legs dangle through and just kind of watch things happen. One of the really cool things that they've done especially last cruise, is they make it a point to get off of the main stage or the main area where they started the party at and to actually make their way all over like the Lido deck, or if the weather is inclement, the atrium of the ship. They will make their way around. They'll find their way to you. Your inclination is going to be, I need to camp out, I need to camp out. You don't even know where they're going to be making their entrance. So keep that in mind. That being said, I will have a hard time taking my own advice on that because I just try to be as strategic as possible. I had a friend that wasn't super strategic, was just really, really lucky on one of the cruises. Shout out to Kayla. She would just like disappear, and then we'd like see her, and she'd be like, oh my God, you guys, I ran into Kevin, and we had a moment, we did a thing, and I ran into Nick, and I'm like, wait, how? Like, what? She's like, yeah, I just happened to be like away from where everyone was, and I just ran into them, and it happened a suspiciously high amount of times to where I started calling her my good luck charm, and I would say I would stick to her, and then I would like do my own thing that I thought was strategic, and it didn't work. But I was really lucky last year, and I think that's because I finally figured out how to do it. But bottom line, Backstreet cruises are super, super fun if you let them be super, super fun. There are going to be variables that are outside of your control. Last cruise, standing outside in the pouring, freezing rain, waiting for the first deck party to start. And, of course, it was on Backstreet Time. And then they ended up moving it inside, so the good place that I thought I had to stand didn't mean jack shit because the party was in a totally different location because of the weather. I was salty. I was in a pissy mood, and then I got a picture with Kevin and a kiss on the cheek. Because that's another story for another day. That's like probably one of my favorite